Hey guys, Mr. Titan here, and today I'm going to be rewriting Total Drama World Tour. Just gonna come out and say it, Total Drama World Tour is my favorite season. The plane setting, locations visited, the cast, new characters, banger songs, and the grand sense of adventure and story when it reaches to the point of the final four. It feels like something that had never been seen from the show up to that point or since. Well, except for Redonkulous Race, but I haven't seen that. Damn, I really need to watch the Redonkulous Race when I'm done with this. But I digress. Despite all the good things I have to say about Total Drama World Tour, there's still a good amount of things that changed to make the season better in my opinion. But before I get into the season itself, I want to talk about the special that tied Total Drama Action and World Tour together, and the things that changed with that. It's not a lot, don't worry. When Lindsay and Beth get arrested during their trip to Paris, depending on the ending of Action, Lindsay either pays bail with their prize money or they get bailed out by her dad. I'd also put Ezekiel and the Drama Brothers with Harold, Cody, Trent, and Justin to give them a group of people to bounce off of. Because spoiler alert, Ezekiel is going to receive some love in this rewrite. Everyone who qualified for World Tour and canon still does here, leaving out Beth, Justin, Trent, Jeff, Eva, Katie, and Sadie from competing. I also want to take the opportunity to say that I'm not going to go in depth with the songs as my rewrite would definitely affect them. So to compromise, I'm going to rank the songs from least to most favorite in a video I'll be releasing alongside this one. Now onto the actual season. Starting off with the two-part season premiere, Walk Like an Egyptian, Ezekiel still shows great excitement about getting another chance to compete after getting booted first last time, but not to the point of annoying Chris into throwing him off the plane. The teams remain the same with Harold, DJ, Lashana, Bridgette, Lindsay, and Ezekiel on Team Victory, Alejandro, Tyler, Noah, Owen, and Sierra on Team Chris, and Cody, Heather, Gwen, Courtney, and Izzy on Team Am-AH-Zon. Duncan still quits the game due to the singing rule. The dynamics between Ezekiel and Team Victory in this canon are as follows. Lashana doesn't like him because of his previous sexist comments. Bridgette doesn't like him because of his previous sexist comments and him flirting with her at Playa de Losers. Lindsay likes him a little because of him apologizing for his sexist comments and teaming up with her in the Total Drama Island special. And Harold is much more friendly to Ezekiel here due to them being in a band together in this canon. Ezekiel tries to lay low in fear of getting booted first again. Chris allows Sierra and Izzy to switch teams unlike an island. Team Am-AH-Zon wins the challenge while Team Victory comes in last. But they don't have to vote someone off here because Ezekiel didn't lose the stick in this canon, making it a non-elimination challenge except for Duncan. Ezekiel in a confessional voices excitement about not getting booted first and even making it past the finalists of the previous season. And Alejandro still has his confessional at the end of the episode of him meaning business. Just a great villain. Him and Heather both. In Super Happy Crazy Fun Time Japan, due to Duncan being the only contestant to have been eliminated last episode, there isn't speculation among the remaining contestants on whether this challenge will be non-elimination or not. For the Panda Pinball Challenge, Ezekiel volunteers for Team Victory to prove himself to his team while Alejandro and Cody still go for Team Chris and Am-AH-Zon respectively. Alejandro gets first place, Ezekiel gets second place despite getting beat up by the Panda, and Cody gets third place. The commercials all go mostly the same except with the addition of Ezekiel messing up some lines for Team Victory's commercial. Team Am-AH-Zon still wins and Team Victory loses. Harold votes for himself, Lindsay and Ezekiel vote for DJ, DJ votes for himself, and Lashana and Bridgette vote for Ezekiel. In a bottom three of Ezekiel, Harold, and DJ, Harold still quits the game due to Alejandro's manipulation, and Ezekiel voices how happy he is that he survived past the first official elimination ceremony. In Anything Yukon Do, I Can Do Better, Ezekiel joins Noah in hugging Bridgette while the cast is huddling for warmth. When Bridgette gets separated from her team and is left stuck to a pole by Alejandro, Ezekiel tries to ask where she is but is shut up by Lashana and Lindsay who are having girl talk. Tyler crosses the finish line first for Team Chris, DJ crosses second for Team Victory, and Courtney crosses third for Team Am-AH-Zon. But because Team Victory was missing Bridgette, they lose and have to vote someone off. Bridgette and Ezekiel vote for DJ because of his animal curse and him crying his eyes shut, and DJ, Lindsay, and Lashana vote for Bridgette. Bridgette still gets eliminated here, which saddens Ezekiel. In Broadway Baby, Ezekiel being here doesn't change much of anything, and it doesn't matter too much anyway as this is a non-elimination challenge. In the Aftermath 1, Bridgette over Troubled Waters. Due to Ezekiel still being in the game, only Duncan is shown in the Total Drama Fugitive segment. Blaney also has a line of dialogue about how surprised she he is that Ezekiel didn't get booted first a second time. In Slap Slap Revolution, Ezekiel doesn't do anything to change the outcome of this episode as his team still loses. Lashana votes for DJ, and DJ, Lindsay, and Ezekiel vote for Lashana, eliminating her. In the Am-AH-Zon Race, sorry, I don't know what came over me there, Ezekiel joins Lindsay in trying to cheer up and motivate DJ throughout the challenge. This works as Team Victory wins like in canon. Courtney, Gwen, and Sierra vote for Heather, Heather votes for Gwen, and Cody votes for Sierra. But no one gets eliminated due to Chris making it a fake-out elimination ceremony. In first class, Ezekiel is excited to finally experience the reward of winning a challenge. In Can't Help Falling in Louvre, Ezekiel helps Lindsay build the statue while DJ tries to undo his animal curse, which leads to the statue getting destroyed and Team Victory losing. And because 3 people are still on the team instead of 2, no tiebreaker takes place and it's just a normal vote. DJ gets Lindsay and Ezekiel to vote for himself, which eliminates DJ here. In Newf Kids on the Rock, neither Heather nor Alejandro try to work Team Victory due to there being more than one person still on that team. Ezekiel and Lindsay are now more confident in their ability to win now that DJ and his animal curse are gone. Team Chris and Team Victory tie for the win, further boosting Team Victory's confidence. In Jamaica Me Sweat, Owen and Izzy still get crushed by the plane, causing Izzy to turn into Brainzilla and break up with Owen due to their incompatibility before she gets auto-eliminated when she gets taken by the military. Ezekiel proves himself to be surprisingly good at the challenge, which causes Alejandro to sabotage him and make Team Victory lose. Ezekiel and Lindsay compete in a tiebreaker, which Ezekiel wins, eliminating Lindsay and making Ezekiel the last remaining member of Team Victory. In a confessional at the end of the episode, Ezekiel says he can't believe he outlasted all of his teammates, but now he's in trouble. How is he going to keep getting by as a one-man team? As if to answer his prayers, Heather enters the confessional to try and work Ezekiel onto Team Am-AH-Zon. In the Aftermath 2, Revenge of the Telethon, Duncan's whereabouts are still unknown, and with all the previously eliminated Team Victory contestants here, some of them chime in and admit that Ezekiel is a better guy than they previously gave him credit for and hope he doesn't get played by Alejandro. Icy London is where shit truly gets interesting. It opens with all the contestants except for Ezekiel in the economy class, to which Heather questions why they're in there since they won last time, as well as where Ezekiel is. After Alejandro eavesdrops in on Chris and Chef with the Ripper in first class, Alejandro gets captured by him. In Alejandro's absence, Heather questions where he is before also questioning if Alejandro's disappearance is related to Ezekiel's. The challenge goes mostly the same, with contestants from each team getting picked off until it's just Noah and Owen on Team Chris, and Gwen and Courtney on Team Am-AH-Zon. In this canon, the Ripper manages to capture Noah and Owen and bring them back to the plane, where it's revealed that the Ripper was actually Ezekiel, and Chris struck up a deal with him that if he played the role of the Ripper for the challenge without getting captured, he'd get to merge from his one-man team onto one of the other teams. But if he did get captured, Chris would auto-eliminate him. Fortunately for Ezekiel, he captured all of Team Chris without getting captured himself, meaning he's still in the game. Gwen and Courtney still bring back Duncan, to which Team Am-AH-Zon wins due to not only bringing him back into the game, but being the only team to have had members avoid capture by Ezekiel. Ezekiel gets put on Team Am-AH-Zon as a first prize, and Duncan gets put on Team Chris as a consolation prize. Noah and Owen vote for Alejandro, and Alejandro, Tyler, and Duncan vote for Noah. Before Noah takes the drop of shame, he still warns his team of Alejandro. Duncan and Gwen still kiss, which Tyler walks in on. In Grease's Pieces, Ezekiel shows happiness about being on a team again, as well as being on a team with his fellow drama brother Cody. And Cody is also happy to no longer be the only boy on Team Am-AH-Zon. Duncan and Gwen still awkwardly volunteer for the scavenger hunt challenge, to which Gwen gets a gold medal for Team Am-AH-Zon. For the Pancration challenge, Owen and Tyler still go against Sierra, Courtney, and Ezekiel in this canon. Courtney insults Cody for wanting to compete, as well as Zeke, which causes Sierra to still fight Courtney instead, giving 2 gold medals to Team Chris by default. Alejandro and Heather still go against each other in the hurdling challenge, which Heather gets a gold medal for because of Alejandro getting cocky, tying the teams. Cody and Tyler still go for the tiebreaker challenge, and Alejandro still gets Tyler to reveal the Gwenkin kiss. Cody still punches Duncan and wins the tiebreaker to save Gwen from guaranteed elimination. Duncan votes for Tyler, and Alejandro, Tyler, and Owen vote for Duncan. Like in canon, Duncan doesn't get eliminated, and Chris makes an intern take the drop of shame instead. instead. In the X-Files, the challenge and plot go mostly the same, with Alejandro convincing Courtney to flirt with Tyler and such. For Team Am-AH-Zon's artifact, they get a feral alien clone of Ezekiel to chase them back to Chris, winning the challenge. That way you can have something resembling feral Ezekiel without ruining the actual Ezekiel's life. Tyler still gets injured and destroys Team Chris's alien artifact when stepping on a landmine. Duncan votes for Tyler, Owen votes for Alejandro, and Alejandro and Tyler vote for Duncan. Duncan gets eliminated, much to the joy of Courtney, Cody, and Tyler. In Picnic at Hanging Rock, Cody wants to get Ezekiel, Gwen, and one other person to eliminate Sierra, but Gwen insists that Courtney has to go first. Meanwhile, on Team Chris, Owen worries that the alliance between Alejandro and Tyler will cause them to go home if they lose again, especially after Noah's warning and with Duncan gone. Speaking of Duncan being gone, Courtney moves on to flirt with Alejandro, angering Heather. Due to Courtney wanting to lose and the rest of Team Am-AH-Zon either wanting her or Gwen gone, Team Chris wins the challenge. Cody doesn't get left hanging on the bungee cord due to Duncan not being here, meaning he's in a normal state when it comes to voting. Gwen gets Cody, Ezekiel, and Heather to vote for Courtney, while Courtney and Sierra vote for Gwen, eliminating Courtney. Sweet and Sour begins with Gwen feeling relieved at Courtney being gone. Cody also begins this episode with the mindset of how if they lose the next challenge, Sierra will be gone for sure, putting him in a hopeful mood. Meanwhile, Alejandro talks about how Owen is onto him, but plans to work him over to his side to gain his trust to eventually betray him, which he does throughout this challenge with the help of Tyler. Due to Gwen still being here, Cody doesn't build her face and instead just makes a boat, also meaning the We Built Gwen's Face song would sadly never happen. Team Chris still finish their boat first, to which they get the flints. Owen and Cody are still made the captains of their respective teams. Team Chris still win the challenge when Owen is used as a cannonball, also getting his team the massage reward. Cody plans to get Gwen and Ezekiel to vote off Sierra, only for Chris to make it a fake out elimination. And Heather and Alejandro still have their moment together. In the Aftermath 3, Aftermayhem, Noah, Duncan, and Courtney are brought out as the guests before the Second Chance challenge is introduced by Jeff and Blaine. Noah, Lindsay, Lashana, Beth, and Duncan compete in the comeback challenge, to which Noah wins and gets to return to Total Drama World Tour despite how little he wants to. In Niagara Brawls, Noah officially returns to the game and Chris announces the merge, making this merge consist of Heather, Owen, Gwen, Noah, Cody, Tyler, Ezekiel, Alejandro, and Sierra. I feel like this would be a more fair merge, as it gives the previous non-mergers the chance to reach this point, like with Harold, Courtney, Justin, and Beth in action. Plus, Duncan doesn't have to make the merge every time. The pairs for the wedding challenge are Alejandro and Heather, Cody and Sierra, Tyler and Gwen, Owen and Noah, and Ezekiel and the bear, to which he gets beat up by the bear, disallowing him to continue to the tightrope customs part of the challenge. Alejandro and Heather fall off the tightrope due to Alejandro not wanting to look like a threat, especially with Noah back in the game. Cody, Sierra, Owen, and Noah fall off after Sierra gets into a fight because of Noah's sarcastic remarks, leaving just Tyler and Gwen, who cross the tightrope and get through Canadian customs, winning the challenge and gaining them both immunity. In the confessional, Noah says that while he's here, he might as well get revenge on Alejandro, or at least try to. Noah and Owen vote for Alejandro, Cody gets Ezekiel and Gwen to vote for Sierra, and Alejandro gets Sierra, Tyler, and Heather to vote for Owen, eliminating Owen and removing Noah's one ally. Chinese fake out begins with Tyler and Gwen in first class, to which Tyler comments on how first class is nice, but it'd be nicer if Lindsay was there with him instead of Gwen, since he doesn't have much to say to Gwen. In the economy class, Noah tries to find new allies in Cody, Heather, and Ezekiel to help get rid of Alejandro. Due to Cody being distracted by Sierra's marriage antics, he has to settle for Heather and Ezekiel. Heather agrees to team up but is hesitant to get rid of Alejandro, while Ezekiel agrees without much convincing, as he was already sabotaged by Alejandro once and knows that he was responsible for most of his previous team's early eliminations. Sierra still wins the Chinese eating challenge and takes Cody to first class. After the challenge, Noah talks to Heather and Ezekiel about voting off Alejandro due to him not having immunity, to which Heather insists they vote Tyler instead since he's in an alliance with Alejandro. This leads to a confessional where Noah says that Alejandro is the one who got him out in the first place, so he knows who he's voting for. Heather, Ezekiel, and Gwen vote for Tyler, Noah votes for Alejandro, Cody wastes his vote on Sierra despite her having immunity, and Alejandro, Tyler, and Sierra vote for Gwen, eliminating Tyler and Gwen with no tiebreaker because of the producer's pressuring Chris about the budget. Sierra still paralyzes Cody with the love tee. In African Lying Safari, due to Ezekiel still being in the game and very much still a human, the contestants just hunt animals for the challenge instead of him. Alejandro sabotages Noah similarly to how he did with Duncan and Cannon and wins immunity. Alejandro, Heather, and Sierra vote for Noah. Cody and Ezekiel vote for Sierra, and Noah votes for Heather. Noah gets eliminated and Alejandro takes Cody to first class like in Cannon. In Rapa Phooey, Alejandro winning the trust of Cody worries Ezekiel, who knows Alejandro's true nature. Ezekiel spends the episode showing suspicion at Alejandro and Cody's bond, getting under Alejandro's skin, to which he questions in a confessional how that homeschool even got this far. Alejandro wins immunity here. Alejandro, Heather, and Sierra vote for Ezekiel, and Cody and Ezekiel vote for Sierra. Ezekiel gets eliminated but doesn't grab onto the plane since he had a good run in this cannon and just leaves. Nothing changes with Drumheller as Sierra still blows up the plane and gets eliminated, making Heather, Alejandro, and Cody the finalists of Total Drama World Tour. In the Aftermath 4, Hawaiian Style, Ezekiel, Noah, Gwen, Tyler, and Owen are introduced as the guests. Tyler, Courtney, Lindsay, Katie, and Sadie root for Alejandro. Ezekiel, Noah, Gwen, Owen, Duncan, Izzy, DJ, Lashana, Bridgette, Harold, Beth, Justin, Trent, Jeff, and Eva root for Cody. And Blanley roots for Heather. The challenge goes the same, with Courtney going for Alejandro and getting him first place, Harold going for Cody and getting him second place, and Blanley going for Heather and getting her last place. Except for the feral Ezekiel stuff, I wouldn't change a thing with planes, trains, and hot air mobiles. Heather wins the race and Alejandro and Cody tie for second, which Alejandro breaks in the next episode, Hawaiian Punch, which goes mostly the same except Ezekiel is also Heather's helper alongside Cody and Harold, while Tyler is also Alejandro's helper alongside Lindsay and Courtney. Now for the endings. Heather wins the same way she did in Cannon by defeating Alejandro and throwing her dummy into the volcano. As for Alejandro's ending, Heather still slips up and throws his dummy into the volcano by accident. And to give some love to Cody, who was technically advertised as a finalist when World Tour first aired, I'm going to go over what his ending would look like. At the end of episode 25, Cody wins the race while Alejandro comes in second place, eliminating Heather and making the finale Cody versus Alejandro. Cody's helpers are Ezekiel, Harold, and Heather. Cody gets to the volcano first thanks to Heather distracting Alejandro and throws his dummy in, winning Total Drama World Tour and the $1 million in his ending. It should be noted that in all endings, the prize money doesn't get destroyed due to Ezekiel still being a human. Alejandro still gets burned by the volcano, but I'm only keeping that because unlike feral Ezekiel, it gets rectified in All Stars. And this has been my rewrite of Total Drama World Tour. Do you think I made the season better or worse? Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and until next time, this has been Mr. Titan. Have a good day.